areas. So I think first of all I need to decide on the colour for the main part of the house. I think I will do that first. Sorry. So I have my fortunate slide of fence. So I think, now I'm not quite sure what vision I should go for. I quite like the idea of it being a blueberry, but I'm not sure if I have a proper blue for a blueberry. So I have here this Indian blue, but I'm not sure this is very blueberry coloured. We have a cobalt blue. I think cobalt blue is a very pretty colour, but again, maybe not very blueberry. We have this Prussian blue, but 6.9, but it's slightly more purple than I would think blueberry would be. However, I do know the inside of a blueberry is purple, so it could be appropriate. I'm not sure I have any other blues in here that are appropriate. So I think what I could do is I could kind of combine all of the colours and do the darkest for shading and the lightest. But okay, I'm unsure out of these two which would actually come out as the darkest colour. So I am going to swatch them down the bottom first. So this first one here is Indian blue. I am going to do that is the Indian blue. That is quite dark. I don't think that was one of the darker ones. So I think this is going to be a very dark blueberry. This one is the cobalt blue. Ooh, that's very vibrant. It feels very electric. And then this one is the Prussian blue. Okay, that one is very dark. So I think we now know the order that I should use them in. So the lightest one being Indian blue. So I will start with the Prussian blue. And I am just going to start on the other side. So before you begin, a little tip for you, if you're a beginner like I am. If you put a thick piece of card underneath the page, it stops the pen from transferring. So I'm going to start down here. And it's because it is very dark at the moment. I'm not sure how it's going to dry. I'm just going to do a very thin layer. Very, very thin layer. I think I will also do a slight bit underneath here. And just in the gaps here. There we go. Now I will take the cobalt blue. I'm just going to overlap that and bring this down. It's actually a lot bolder than I was expecting, but I think this can be a very bold blueberry. I have recently been on holiday for Easter. I went home for the holiday. I got to see my family, which was very pleasant. It was very nice to spend time with our friends. I went on a triple date, which is quite common when I go home to go on a triple date, because it means we get to see a big group of friends in one go. So I went on that triple date, and we went to Las Iguanas, which is not something that we usually do. So that was very enjoyable to try that. And then we went into an arcade and I played piano tiles. Piano tiles is my all-time favourite game at the arcade. I like playing rhythm games on my computer. So piano tiles at the arcade is my favourite way to make tickets. And if you're wondering, I usually get a fidget toy with my tickets. You can't hate a good fidget toy. I think this is going to turn into a very good blueberry. I'm definitely going to need to bring some more of that first blue further down into the shadows. But I'm bring this down a bit more and then I'm going to wait and see if I need to add that last colour again. So I think we're already producing quite a blue blueberry. So while I wait for that blue to dry, I'm going to pick some greens for these leaves here. So I have quite a lot of greens in here. We have a Viridian 57, which is a very dark green. We have a classic forest green 50. We have a turquoise green light shade 57. We have peacock green, which is slightly more blue tinged to it, at 61. We also have spring dim green 100 at 74. And I'd say lastly we have a yellow green at 48. There is a few more greens in there, but I don't think they are contenders. So personally, I think I'm not sure compared to the blue. I'm going to test down here some of these colours. I'm going to start with this turquoise light green, and it is the gold. It doesn't stand out extremely. I'm not quite sure what effect I'm looking for. This is the peacock green. I guess I just want something. See, I don't like that. I feel like that's too dark. So I guess I'm looking for something lighter. How about this yellow green here? Yellow green. Okay, I do quite like that. I think that stands out very well. How about the spring dim green? Whoops, the pans. Some of the pans only open on one side. I think I like that colour. I think it's a very subtle with another green. Okay, I think that looks perfect. Add a bit more on this side. Okay, I really like that. And then I think I will take the Viridian. I'm just going to add some details to the leaves. I don't quite know what I'm doing when it comes to the details, but I'm here for the fun. So now that I've dried a bit, I'm going to take the, which blue was it? I'm going to take the Prussian blue, and I'm going to just bring this down a bit more, because I've noticed that it kind of benefits from having a slightly more shadow. If I have the shadow more like this, it kind of encompasses some of the window. It gives me a chance to try that shadow effect that those TikTok art girlies do. So I take a slightly darker green, or even just this, because it's not darker, it's just a different shade. I use that over the top, and it's not perfect. I might need another darker again. I probably should wait for it to dry, but I'm impatient. Oh, that's better. There you go. Now it looks like there is a shadow being cast. This direction. Okay, I like that. I understand why these girlies enjoy this so much on TikTok. Speaking of TikTok, if you want to load mine, you can find it down in the description, as well as the link to my Instagram. I post my TikToks on Instagram as well when I remember. I think I'm going to do these little stones now. Give it a break from this. I am going to go for the cool grey, I think. Maybe a marine blue, because I think it's more of a grey blue. No, that's way too dark. That could be perfect for the bottom, though. And finish that now then. Oh yes, I think that's the perfect shading for just making note that there are things casting shadows around the blueberry house. I think this would probably be for a fairy. Or, I'm not sure, if you're a British child in the 2000s. It could be a house for Macapaka. I don't know if that is too niche of a reference, but we love Macapaka here. I'm using the wider side now because I want to make sure that I blend as closely as possible. And the easiest way to do that is by using the wide side. Okay, so let's get out our greys again. Go for a warm grey, a cool grey, and a blue grey, and maybe another cool grey. Very different colours. Let's start with the cool grey CG8. If I can open the lid properly. That one's super dark. I won't use that. Let's go with the blue grey BG5. Okay, that one's a bit nicer. That's got a slightly more blue hue to it. How about cool grey CG4? I don't think this is one I've already tried. No. Okay, that one's also quite good. Nice and light. And the last one is warm grey WG9. Okay, that is basically black. So, we'll be using these two for our greys. And I think we probably need a brown. So we have Natural Oak 91, Chocolate 92, Brick Brown 94, and Chestnut Brown 98. So we will go in order. Natural Oak first. That one is very... oh, I quite like that one. Surprisingly warm. So I think that one could be good. Next one is chocolate. Chocolate. Nice and dark and rich, but I think maybe slightly too dark for this. Next we have Brick Brown. I actually really like this colour. I think that one could be a good contender, but I'm not sure if it really goes with those colours of grey. And the last one is Chestnut Brown. That one is much darker. I think out of all of them, personally, I would go with the first one, Natural Oak. So, I know we'll use these three, and I'm just going to go around. I may go alternating, I may mix it up, I'm not sure yet. But I'm going to start with the blue-grey on this bottom one. Okay, yes, I think that was a great choice of colour. I think I'll do that over here as well. I'm then going to do two of them here. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm next going to do the cool grey. I forgot the little side does not agree with me on that pen. So I'm going to do the cool grey next. And then I think there could be two couple cool greys there. And then the natural oak. I will use this one here. This one here. And then these are last two here. Cute. And then I have to decide if that's brown. I think the frame should be brown and then the windows can be grey. I will make that decision now. I think that will look very cute. Oh yes, that is exactly the vision I have in my brain. How is your project coming along? Have you gotten a lot of work done? I am checking in on my clock. It says 17 minutes, but I think it's more like 20. So, take a check. Do you need the toilet? Do you need to get a drink? Do you need to eat? I am actually going to have a sip of my drink. I will even say, have a VIP and VAP if you need. Just take a moment to reset if you need. I am going to take this blue grey and I am going to use this for the insides of the windows, because I feel like this kind of reflects what the inside. I feel like I might have to put a little bit of purple in it, because the inside of a blueberry is technically purple. So I'll let that dry and then I will check. A little bit of purple. I will go for the lavender. This is the lavender number 83. And I will just, because I think the lavender is quite dark, it just lets enough of the blue through. I think the door should be wine red and brown, but I'm not sure if it should be brick brown and red. What if I do a strip of red next to the browns? Yes, because then I can see. That's very unsatisfying though, isn't it? There we go, that's slightly better. I feel like it's probably that first one again. But that is the one I used around the edge. So I might say chocolate instead of 92. These two together. Not brick brown. These two together. So I will do. How about I do some lines with the brown in the wood to kind of give it a real-ish wood look to it. Not that real wood which is what works. Why real wood would have such symmetrical patterns, or as many as this, but I'm a weird perfectionist about my wood. Because if I do this, I can do the door in my course there will be some kind of overcast shadow from the archway. So I'm going to add, with the light grey, maybe maybe with the warm grey. I'm just going to go around the edge. And just add a little bit of efficacy like that. That's cute. So this is our colouring so far. I'm not mad at it one bit actually. I quite like it. I think I'm going to tackle these steps next because that's not going to take too long. And then I think we will take a break and regroup, maybe rest for the evening. But before that, I think the steps should be in dark brown. I think I'm going to start with the closest one in the darkest brown, the chestnut brown. Because you see it really engulfs all the colour. I feel like for the one that's probably catching the least amount of sun, it makes sense for this one to be slightly darker than the rest. Now I could use the large side of the pen for this, but this just means that I can see what I'm doing better. There we go. Whoops, that was upside down. Then next I will use maybe even the warm grey. That's slightly too dark. I should have tested it first. That's what happens when you're impatient. How about the cool grey in this shade? Whoops. That's a bit better. Because that's still dark, but it's not as dark. I have to use the large sides on these pens because some of the toplets don't come off properly. And then the lightest step, I'm going to go with brick brown. Very different shade of brown, but I can't fault it. I am not mad at this shade of brown. Look at that. How sweet. Okay. I think we should tackle the roof and then we will clock off for the evening. But the roof naturally has to be leaves, so we will regroup our greens and blues and pick. I think naturally we should start with the same colour we used as the base for the windows. So I'm just going to feel like the top is more likely to be... I feel like the bottom's more likely to be a darker colour than top. I don't know why I was so stumped with what I was saying there. So I think I'm going to start with going in at the bottom with a forest green here. Then I'm just going to scramble this around down here. Kind of no real purpose to it. I will tidy it up after. Let's just kind of create this darker section, and then you want to use it to like extra define these already pre-designed rivets. Then I'm going to take the Florian. Just kind of use this, kind of even it out, and then I will use this up here. And it's slightly darker, but I feel like this bit would be a bit more starkly contrasted. Next I'm going to use the turquoise. And the turquoise will be used on this section. And then I'm going to take the yellow green. I think I will use that to, one, brighten up this top. But I think I'll also use it to help blend out this colour slightly. I feel like this reflects maybe some form of dampness on the roof. Here we go. So far, this is our blueberry house. I'm very proud of it. I think we did a lovely job. I hope you have done a good job at your work and that you have worked hard, or that you have relaxed hard while enjoying this video. I will see you in the next one.